When did you get crazy? How old were you?
I've been crazy my whole life. I was always like very hyper. I started drinking when I was 10.
Were you, any brothers, any sisters?
I had an older brother, 2 years older than me, but I don't know. I just like was like a crazy kid. I was always very wild. I always got in trouble at school. I was always in the principal's office, like starting in second grade. Like, you know how Santa Claus visits the school and you have an assembly for Christmas? When I got on his lap, I pulled his beard off and I screamed to everybody, he's fake, he's fake. Because I wanted to ruin Christmas. Like, I was crazy from the start, from elementary school.
What did your parents think?
I was just always going to the principal's office and they were disappointed in me. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm a bad kid. So I'm going to keep being a bad kid. This is what I am. And I truly did not give a fuck. And I'm, in the best sense, like, I'm just trying to get back to that place on stage now. You know what I mean? Because I feel like when you're younger, you truly do not give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck.
And I really was that way. I was class clown and all that. And then like I got cute, when I was like 15 and people started treating me different. So I started kind of like, putting it on a little bit and like my persona changed a little bit. But I've always had like a hard edge. Started smoking weed when I was 12. I smoked weed every day until I got sober when I was 26.
No pills, you said.
I didn't really like pills. I liked coke. I actually got sent away to boarding school when I was 15.
Where at?
In Switzerland for doing coke too much at school. So they're like, we'll just send you away. But they sent me to Europe where there's no drinking age. So I would just buy coke off the street from people. In Switzerland, they sell coke on the street. They wrap it up in plastic wrap and they keep it in their mouth. And you go up to people and you're like, Bamba, which is coke in Italian. And I was there.
Crazy. You copped coke in Italy?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I got alcohol poisoning in Switzerland and like fell out of like a boat in like the middle of a lake and like had to be rescued by people. I was always like, I don't know, I was just always getting fucked up and crazy. And I was a stripper for 3 years.
Where?
Which was crazy. I started in Hawaii and then I finished in New York. And
how was that?
It was fucking crazy. It was crazy. And I was like partying really hard. And my dad's friend caught me doing it in New York. Two separate times. My dad's friend. Like one guy was like, recognized me at Scores. And I was like, please don't tell my dad. And he was like, this is so sick. He was like, if you give me a dance, I won't tell him. And then when I took off my dress, he goes, you look just like your mom. Isn't that fucked up? Yeah. And then the other guy told my dad, who caught me, his other friend. Because it was like, I lived in New York and New York City is big, but it's small.
What years were this?
This was...
Well, everybody goes to Scores.
Yeah.
Except me. I've never been to Scores.
Oh, really?
I've never been to Scores.
Yeah, now they have Scores West. That was on Scores West. The old one used to be on the Upper East Side where all the mafia shit was going on. And then I think Mayor Giuliani shut that down for a while. And yeah, they shut it down completely. They moved it to the west side. And then what opened up in that place was Sapphires on the east side. Little Scores history. But it's crazy that I did that because people hear that today and they're like, really? You did that?
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Yeah, but I'm a completely different person today. But I definitely...
How are you completely different than when you were 21? You're 31 now, right? Because I talk about this in my act. That
yes.
When people change.
Completely
people
different.
Fucking change. Like, I still know you're crazy.
Yeah.
But you're not that crazy, but it's still there. Like, I'm still crazy. I'm not crazy when I was 25 crazy.
Yeah.
27 crazy, 30 crazy, but I'm still crazy.
Yeah.
How do you see your change from then?
So, first of all, I completely led with my sexuality then, I was an overly sexual person. I, hooked up with like anyone. I'd go to parties like high on coke and like show people my boobs. You know what I mean? I was like that chick. And stay up all night and like be high. And like all I did was go out to clubs and I wasn't working hard at all. I had dreams of wanting to, be a writer, do stand up, be an actor, you know, all the things I'm pursuing right now. But I was just unable to accomplish those things because I was an addict. So I just, you know, my thing was just, you know, waking up and partying until the next day, and that was it. And I'd think about what I want to do and talk about it high on coke, but I just, you know, basically had to burn out and hit a bottom, you know, with partying. And then once I was able to get sober, was I able to start focusing on the things that I feel like I was put on this earth to do, you know, my dreams in life. And, you know, I had no ambitions when I was getting fucked up. I mean, I had things I wanted to do. I had
dreams, but I was getting fucked up.
It was impossible. Like, I was doing that. So, you know, I'm a very hard worker today. I don't lead with sexuality. I mean, when I first moved here, I did the dumbest. Like, I used to do, like, all those... You ever see these girls who do these photo shoots on Instagram? Like, they want to, like, just, like, these slutty photo shoots. Like,
Yeah, the big thing, like, it's like...
It's a whole thing.
They go to the gym and they do squats, but it's just, like literally the camera's just on their ass. And...
Yeah, it's like you... I'm like, I wanted to do comedy when I moved out here, but my friend was like, oh, if you do photo shoots with guys... You know, guys who have cameras, photographers, and then they like, you post the pictures, like you'll get followers. And I was like, oh, okay. So I thought I was taking these funny, sexy photos, but it's like, that's not how you fucking do, you know, that's not how you do comedy. You have to get on stage and write jokes. But it's like, you're doing all these other things thinking that's how you're going to get ahead. You just have to sit down and do the work and not be a fucking asshole. So... I mean, it's like a complete 180. You know, I had to grow up and grow out of all these things.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of guys who I think listen to the show.
Yeah.
And they might say, oh, it's a good problem to have. But, like, what is it like being a pretty girl? Is there just so much stuff being thrown at you? And, like, is it hard to almost, like, say, okay, let me actually do the work?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, okay, so my whole life, you know, I was kind of like just a person who like smoked weed. I was like a tomboy growing up. But then when I got hot when I was 15 and people started treating me differently, I started acting differently. So I'd say from like 15 to like 25, like I was acting like a dumb slut. And I can look back on that and say that, and I'm disappointed in myself, but whatever. It is what it is. I have the awareness. I've changed as a person. I'm not like that. It's all good. I've been through lots of different phases in my life. But basically, like, you know, you just act like you're entitled. You know, you're used to getting free shit. And you think you can do whatever, act however. Like, exactly what guys say. That girl is hot. She thinks she fucking can get everything for free. Yeah, because she knows she can.
Yeah, she can.
And
yeah.
I rode that, and, you know, and I was just like a party girl. And I don't think that... I think it's the way that you carry yourself. If you don't carry if you have self-worth and self-respect, people aren't going to treat you like that.
We're going in like fucking Marines. You understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.